Alright, welcome back everyone, I'm Evil Tim and this is Let's Play Shinobi. Yes, we're going to play Shinobi. Why are we going to play Shinobi, you ask? Well, it is because I am uploading everything from Google, as you have probably noticed. As a result, people are going to be asking me, why Tim, why haven't you re-uploaded the Shinobi videos? Well, it's because they're crap, and you can see that there's a link to them down in the description of this video. They're not presentable, but this is because it is presented by Sega. That's a good thing, don't you know? And it's created by Overworks. Overworks, I believe, made this, and they also made Nightshade, and we'll forgive them the latter because of the former. It's also got Soft Deck and ADX, but nobody knows what those are, so we're going to circumvent this screen as quickly as possible. Warning, this game contains scenes of extreme violence and gore. It actually doesn't. It's just that every game after Silent Hill did that, with any kind of violence in it all. So, we can go for a new game, but firstly we're going to show the difficulty levels, because this is the European version. What's different about the European version? Well, it has easy instead of super difficulty, because of that whole thing where the Japanese believed that the Americans liked hard games, so they got rid of the easiest difficulty and gave them an even harder one. Is the moon just closer to the Earth in Japan? I don't know. It's very curious. So, there's a sword in a tree for some reason.
I thank you for all that you have taught me until this day.
Thanks for nothing, jerk.
It is time for us to part, Hotsuma.
Okay, so they're getting their swords out, ready for an injury-type duel, as all the cherry blossoms fall in a very significant, moving manner, signifying a loss of innocence.
This is the way it must be done.
Badly.
This is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, there's a half
You knew this
fox,
day would
half
come.
snake in this game, and this is the part that's
Lies beyond
ridiculous.
our reach now. We can do naught but wait and watch.
And pontificate. Okay, so they're going to go with the watch part.
Come.
Let us begin.
Alright, so they're going to jump around in a manner that doesn't really suggest they're trying to even hit each other, let alone kill each other. And then their swords will clash together in a dramatical fashion. He'll do that, which is probably against the rules. And then they will do that whole thing where they run together and swish their swords, and then it all fades out and one of them falls over later. But that's not actually going to happen yet. It didn't even look like their swords were going to connect, but never mind. I suppose that doesn't matter, because it's now 4 years later. That's a bloody long sword fight, but never mind that. There has since been an
30
earthquake.
days have passed since the earthquake struck Tokyo.
So it's 4 years and 30
A
days later?
mysterious golden palace has appeared in the center of the capital.
Alright, that doesn't happen very often. It's apparently made of train carriages and
And its appearance
wreckage.
has brought creatures called Hellspawn into the city.
This is like the bravest and stupidest cameraman ever. Alright, so apparently Hiroko has summoned a golden palace and then he's just decided to go and stand on top of a random skyscraper. This doesn't seem like a particularly efficient use of wizarding, but apparently he's still at the evil mumbling stage and still at the hand clipping through his talisman thing stage. So he's going to throw out all of those talismans in order that they might flit around the city and inconvenience passing tanks. That is actually a Japanese Type 74 main battle tank. I said it was a Walker Bulldog before, but I was wrong because I'm stupid.
Control.
They're all dead, but so it was pretty
Their
easy.
leader makes his way here now.
Okay, make up your mind. Is it under your absolute control, or is there a leader?
Begins the final stage of the ritual.
The wearing pretzels stage. There's actually about 2 more stages, and here is the lineup of the game's future bosses, in order to spoiler it for us, or to foreshadow it, who knows. So, now a helicopter flits in, because Hotsuma apparently has a helicopter. We're never going to find out exactly who the people with Hotsuma are, but he seems to have some sort of boss here, I don't know. It's not in the manual either,
A
he just...
self-proclaimed sorcerer has summoned Hellspawn to wreak havoc on Tokyo.
Oh, he's a
With
self-proclaimed
all of the
sorcerer
cabinet
who summoned
members
Hellspawn as
reported
opposed to an
dead,
actual
the
one.
capital has all but paralyzed.
I wonder what you have to do to become a real sorcerer then.
I heard what happened to the Yoboro.
Who are you?
I know this must be difficult for you.
The force field is spreading! We can't hold out!
Okay, so some people have died off screen in a terrible fashion. So these guys...
momentarily.
Does that mean that you'll be there soon or not for very long? Alright, and apparently there's a radar screen that we can see but they can't. This is not a very well designed helicopter.
I'll get off here.
Oh, so this is where you get off. I see how it is. Right, so he's going to get off there. This will have nothing to do with that, of course. It's a good thing he was planning to get off there, really. Otherwise, that would have been highly inconvenient. But he's going to do his ninja falling thing, and then... a mysterious man standing on top of Times Square, Japan, and then he uses his ninja parachute. It's things like that that are why I like this game. And then he looks back up, but he finds the mysterious stranger has buggered off. He's only got 2 days left before the moon collides with the Earth as well. It's all to play for. So he finds himself walking along a derelict street, but there are men mysteriousing in the shadows. Yes, this is one of the things that all ninjas fear, being mugged. You also notice he carries his shurikens on his little gauntlet things because he is Nails. So, apparently this is fatal. Either that or he doesn't bother to kill one of them and that guy just dies randomly. And yes, this is the extreme violence and gore. You can really see why we needed that advisory, can't you? So he does his dashity thing and then slashes that last man who collapses. Puts his sword away and he's ready once again.
The Oboro are being used against me.
That's efficient.
These talismans. I shall have my revenge.
Whether he actually has it on the right people appears to be entirely optional. So, right, that is all of our introductory type cutscenes, and now we are into stage 1A. There we go. It's a derelict type streety area. Alright, so we're Hotsuma. What can we do as Hotsuma? Well, we're a ninja, so clearly we can jump more than once, and also we can do stealth dashes, which allow us to stealthily dash, and we can throw shurikens. We've also got a little scroll down there, and that allows us to use one of 3 types of ninja magic. The first is Cayenne, which is fire magic. It's too spicy for them. That's a sort of smart bomb thing. The second is Kamaitaichi, which is razor wind. It allows us to throw sword arcs in a dramatical manner. Now, you don't want to actually use these in the game, because basically these will knacker your boss score, so it is the do not press this button. You don't want to use this one because it also kills things rather than pinning them in tate, which is what you want to do. The final one is Raijin, which is a shield and allows us to shield ourselves from all manner of things. We can destroy all of these enemies now with impunity, or if we prefer with our sword, that option is open to us and it fades out after a while. So we've hacked that guy up in the interim and possibly in the groin as well, so we will now go over here, show things we can do with our sword other than using the sword. We can kick things or we can do a spin attack. You press back in the sword to do the kick, you press forward in the sword to do the spin. The kick breaks people's guard, which is good when they start guarding, but completely unnecessary until they do start guarding, so we don't have to use that at all yet, whereas the spin hits things around you, and thus is handy for hitting things around you. So now we have ninja dogs, so we better kill them off, but we can get them in tate. What is tate, you ask? Well, apparently Hotsuma can slash things so fast they don't even realize that they're dead for a while, which is silly of them, but it makes your sword more powerful the more enemies you have pinned in it, like that, you see. So that will become very, very important later, but for now it's really just showing off how fast we can get people. So we've got some guys here, we're going to deal with all of them. And you got the little counter up there. The thing flashes faster the closer you are to losing your tate. It's like a combo kind of thing. And we also notice we leave a little ghost image, which confuses people when we stealth dash. That's our stealth, you see. Now you might be asking, how is this guy a ninja when he clearly isn't sneaking around anywhere? He's just running up to people and beating them up with a sword. Well, much as a painter is someone who paints and a decorator is someone who decorates, a ninja is someone who ninjas. And so provided a lot of people end up being ninjas during the course of this LP, it doesn't matter if he's stealthy or not. Meanwhile, here's a tank. This is a Japanese Type 90 main battle tank. It's the sequel to the Type 74, so it's better. But it's no match for us because it doesn't have any way of attacking people behind it. Also, I noticed they've drilled out the gun barrel on this thing, which is a nice bit of detailing, don't you know? But that didn't save it either, so we'll deal with these guys and then we will dissolve that seal there. That is a Kekkai. It is a ninja-y type seal. Meanwhile, there is ninja killing poo gas coming out of the walls here due to more of Hiroko's wasteful and disgusting magic, no doubt. We'll have to deal with him later on, but probably that will not happen until the very end of the game because he seems a final boss kind of fellow. So we've hacked up all of those guys and hidden at one of the screens so that they can't see us. Told you maybe there is a bit of stealth in this game after all. We pick up some shurikens. You don't need the shurikens at the moment either, but they will come into play themselves as well. So these guys here need to be destroyed. This guy is an arse, and that's not on at all. So we have destroyed him. And now more men will jump out of the ground. I don't know what they were doing there, and I don't think they do either. So they have to be killed too. That we can get one more of these ninja-type scrolls. These are called Makimono, and there are 3 of them in each stage. You get a bonus for getting them and for not using them. You can also run along walls, because again, it's a ninja-y type power that Hotsuma possesses, because he is awesome. He also possesses the ability to wear a 20-foot scarf that doesn't care about the position of his body and not get tangled up in it or anything. That's just the kind of risks he's willing to take, because he is very assured of his capacities. So, we're gonna go over here, we better go and destroy this seal here that we might proceed ever onward. So, these guys are in our way, and that's not on. Standing in our way is never a clever thing to do. So, we've got one more corridor and one more room, so we will make our way through those. There's now 5 enemies, which will get us an even more dramatic cutscene. Stop cutting me, that's not the kind of cutscene we were talking about. And he shall have it down there where nobody can see him too. That's his cunning stealth. So, there's another Oboro type coin up here. These coins give us secrety things, but I've already got them all, which is why you can't see the coin counter. I am just clever like that. So we'll dodge this tank's firepower, and then we will dodge behind it and hack it apart. It has no real defense against that. If you attack it from the front, it can heat up its gun barrel and spin it around and knock you backwards in an uncharitable fashion. But this is a game where a sword can cut a tank in half, and really you can't argue with that kind of thing, can you? No, you bloody well can't. It's actually one of my favourite games, and I know that that probably says a few things about my judgment, but I don't care. It's a marvellous game, and anybody who says otherwise is wrong. So we're going to jump up on this thing, and we're going to get the last of the Oboro coins, which is over here. There we go. It's hiding in this little cubby hole, but that didn't fool us for 1 minute. We know of its tricks. So we're going to dash over here now, and then we will encounter that bloody helicopter again. This is the only recurring boss in the whole game. It turns up twice, and it's different both times, though, so it's not like those repeated type bosses. If you pause the video there, you can see the helicopter was in fact just hiding down there in a side alley. What the hell were you doing down there? Shut up. I can be where I like, I'm a helicopter. So, this is the evil Black Hawk. It's been possessed, you see, by that silly Hiroko man from the start who was mumbling in a preposterous manner, and we must now fight it in this car park. So, how do boss fights work in this game? Well, the gimmick of this game is that every single boss in the game can be killed in one hit, although some of them, like this one, require a bit of prep work, you see, because we don't have the sword at its full potential yet. So what we're going to do is hack up its Maverick-type missiles, and that will damage it to the point we can kill it in one sword hit. Every boss in this game also has minions, like these guys here, which they spawn at certain phases of their attack cycle, and you have to get all of them together in order to power up your sword enough to kill off the boss. And usually the bosses will have a weak point, a place where you can hit them. This is one of the exceptions, and it doesn't. It's just if you jump too high, you hit its rotor, and then it will damage you, and you will not damage it. Let's hack up its missiles again. We've now done as much damage as we possibly can with it, and with its missiles, and now it will do its new attack, which is to sink down like that and then try and attack you with its rotors. And for some reason, the safe place is to stand directly underneath it while it's doing that. I'm not entirely sure that that's a legitimate theory, but the game would kill me for not doing it, so I'm going to have to go along with their silliness. So we'll carve that up, and then we'll dodge these missiles, briefly be distracted, and then hack it. There we go, we got the one-hit kill on the Black Hawk, the first boss, and it explodifies. But it isn't destroyed, because that's for the cutscene. So Ageha jumps up here, throws one shuriken, and because it's a cutscene shuriken, it can do whatever the hell it likes. Wish I had those during the game. But the Black Hawk is now off, apparently. That one shuriken was just too much for it. Was one of her parents a chess piece?
Ageha.
You have no qualms about fighting your clansmen, even if they are already dead.
I regard that as a mitigating
Kabushi-sama
circumstance.
told me what happened. I guess the Oboro village truly was destroyed.
You left the Oboro clan. These are not the affairs of a rogue
The
ninja.
Oboro are dead! You are the leader of nothing!
What about
Your
Yamushi
death
and
shall
Hibana
be
from the
avenged
sequel?
by
You
my
are the
blade.
leader of nothing! Oh, I see
do
what you
not
mean.
need your help.
Okay, so now he's going to jump upon a car.
Leave here at once.
Because ninjas do that. Yes, he couldn't possibly have done that not on the car. ... Are we dealing with more people who communicate in Morse code here? Is this their procedure, is it? Okay, so now saving, and we have got ourselves an S rank. You get 20,000 points for killing the boss in a single hit, which is good stuff, and we got all the secret coins as well. So, that has been Shinobi. I will probably be continuing this LP at some stage, but maybe not for a little while yet. I have been Evil Tim. You may view the previous version at your leisure, but don't, it's crap. Goodbye. Goodbye.